Salutations everyone, this is Razor here talking to you guys about Nintendo's Switch and what the Smash Brothers port is going to be looking like. We learned very early on that there was going to be a few ports available in the launch window for Nintendo Switch. Splatoon, Mario Maker, Mario Kart, and Super Smash Brothers 4. Who knows what they're going to call it, because it's not going to be on the Wii U, so they can't call it Smash Bros. For Wii U. They can call it Smash Balls for Twitch or for Wii U Switch Edition, or do they just make it something new altogether? Obviously, it's not going to be a new game. This isn't the 5th Smash Brothers game. It's a port of what we've been playing on the 3DS and the Wii U, and the current word on the street is that the Nintendo Switch Edition will feature a few new characters. Sounds like about 2 new characters, so not a lot. This is, some people find this to be a somewhat credible source. This is not an industry insider. It's just some YouTuber either making a rumor or has some sort of leak that came around his way. Maybe sources, who knows. There's, of course, been talk of updates to the game and or DLC characters since people learned that Smash Bros. Was going to get a port on the Nintendo Switch. Now, of course, there's a lot of things that will be factoring into what Switch will be like for Smash Brothers, because we know this port is coming out, and if you want to talk about Melee, if the whole GameCube emulator be a thing, that's a completely different video entirely. A lot more to talk about, a lot more things that can impact that sort of possibility. But as far as the Smash 4 on Switch, there are talks of GameCube adapters. When it comes to Smash Brothers, I feel like, for better or worse, and you could, play both sides here, the GameCube controller is here to stay for Smash Brothers. It's what everyone's been used to for over a decade. It's what people have played the last 3 Smash Brothers on. And just with the way that those controllers are, with the analog sticks and the Z and the L and the R, it's not perfect, but it's what everyone's used to. And we've had the adapter on the Wii U, so there's no reason to think that there wouldn't be an adapter for the Switch, especially if they're bringing emulated GameCube games as well. So the Pro Controller does seem nice. It's really reassuring coming right out of the gate with the launch commercial for the Nintendo Switch and the reveal that they showed us 3 different controllers, the Joy-Cons on the pad, as well as the Joy-Con controller itself, and the Pro Controller, which they showed off during their fake esports event for Splatoon. But of course, we all know there's only one, or actually 2 esport games for Nintendo, and they are both Smash Brothers games. So we don't know if this Pro Controller is going to fit when it comes to the competitors. The competitors will absolutely make or break this game. If the game or the control scheme doesn't fit well with our current Smash 4 competitive scene, then people won't play it, and therefore people won't buy it, and there will be no flourishing Smash on the Nintendo Switch. If the whole Melee thing doesn't work out, that'll be because the competitors have found flaws with it, and the same can be said for Wii U. If the GameCube controller isn't playable, there is no adapter or an easy workaround for tournament organizers to work with, and the Pro Controller isn't suitable, many people find that they don't like the analog sticks, or they don't like the buttons aren't responsive enough, or some sort of weird change. Obviously, no one's had their hands on the Pro Controller yet, and maybe that will get some small changes before the actual console does come out next year. But it's going to come up to the competitors. That's what it's all going to come down to. As far as new characters, that would absolutely be the biggest possible change to this game. We know that as far as Mario Kart and Splatoon goes, that those are going to be ports, but with new content. We saw a new racing stage for Mario Kart and Splatoon. We saw customizable things and a new stage that we never saw on the current Splatoon. So one would have gathered that the Smash port would have some sort of addition as well. The obvious answer would have been, a new stage or maybe a new kind of Mii fighter, or something like that. Nothing too drastic. And of course, a lot of people were wondering, well, this is their opportunity to patch the game. As if they can't do that already. We've had many, many patches in this game, and it seems like the developers have found a Goldilocks zone for Smash 4. They're happy with the way that it is, and the game has been out for a while. There is no more DLC coming to Smash Bros. For Wii U, so they don't feel like they need to update it. That this is cemented home with the last patch only touching Bayonetta. And so that made it seem like they're happy with the way everything else was, but Bayonetta needed to be addressed because she was, double S tier. And even now, I think she's still top 5 or probably top 3 character as well. But a lot of people are going to have complaints about this character should be stronger, this character should be weaker, yada, yada, yada. And you can make some arguments for, changes that should be made, like maybe Jigglypuff gets a change that's positive for once. Worst character in the game, hasn't got a buff ever, and is the only character that hasn't been touched whatsoever. We know that the Bayonetta and Cloud amiibos are being pushed back to launch alongside the Switch edition of Smash Brothers. There's no word on the Corrin amiibo, but this is what we have heard. And we've also heard that this port is being delayed and will be launching outside of the Switch launch window, thinking more of the July-August release. So that is going to have some sort of impact. If there are new characters, I'm sure we will learn about it long before the game port comes out. During that time, maybe it'll be at launch when they show what games A that are going to be in the launch window, and B games that will be coming out, in order to ramp up hype to get people to buy the console, because that's obviously what it all comes down to. With the lackluster sales results of the Wii U, the Nintendo Switch needs to push home a reason to buy this console. And if there is a way to make this a multi-Smash platform, then there's going to be a market, a niche market, nonetheless. Competitive Smash Brothers is still a niche market. In our universe, it seems big because, we go to see all these tournaments and we see all these streams of so many people playing Melee and Brawl and PM and Smash 4, but it's still, in this large scheme of things, won't put a huge dent into what is necessary in order to make Switch a success. But it would be an absolute big step forward. We've heard a lot of people say, if they can make a console do this and this and this, then I'll buy it. I'll buy 5 of them. And if it's somehow able to be a multi-Smash platform console, then there's a lot of reasons to do that. As far as Wii U goes, we don't know if this rumor is true. Obviously, with the new content that we've been already seen from the Mario Kart and Splatoon ports, it would, suffice it to say that they will be adding new content for the Smash game as well, although that is completely not necessary, and Smash is a completely different beast when it comes to, the rights to third-party characters. If we can renew that with Namco and all the other, with Square Enix and all the other third-party characters out there, we'd have to, I don't know when those contracts are up and if they have to renew them, if there are going to be changes that are going to be made. Maybe some stages won't be available in this game that are available in Wii U. So this could be a big boon for Smash, especially on the competitive scene, if everything works out. But as far as new characters go, obviously a lot of people are going to get excited about the prospect of that. So you're going to be hearing rumors and people making videos on, oh, it's confirmed, oh, these characters are definitely coming out, these characters would be the best. We don't know anything about that. As far as what new characters would be selected, we know what the favorites are, both with first-party Nintendo possibilities as well as with third-parties releases, and we've seen ground being broke with with Ryu, with Pac-Man, with Cloud. We saw things that we didn't think were possible a few years ago. You know, we got Mega Man, we got all these crazy awesome third-party characters, so we know that Sakurai can work his magic. He got Bayonetta, and a lot of people were excited about that. Maybe less excited after she came out because she was so powerful, but a lot of people would be disappointed if she was super duper weak, low tier as well. So there's a weird, kind of ground to be made there. All of the DLC characters are good. Maybe Mewtwo wasn't insanely good at launch, but eventually was made a very competitively viable character. So there is obviously the incentive to make DLC characters very competitive and very good. Maybe not Bayonetta good, but at the very least, what Cloud can do, what Mewtwo can do, at the very least as good as Roy, but hopefully, better, more viable, something that can make a splash in the competitive scene and change the way that we see it at top play, but we don't know how those choices can be made. Of course, we heard that Microsoft has said that they would be willing to work out a Banjo-Kazooie thing. We know what characters most people wanted and voted for in the poll. And Bayonetta won Europe, but we don't know what the popular choice in Japan or North America was. So everyone is going to have their own, little wish list of characters that they want to see, but we have to think about what is possible and what is reasonable. The character, there are some stipulations that every character on the Smash roster has to complete in order to even be considered to be a new character for Smash Brothers. One of them being the character in that of itself has to be popular in Japan. So if your character is not popular in Japan, they're not going to be in this game. I'm looking at you, Shovel Knight. So, not that he wouldn't be a great character or whatever. It's just that we see the characters have to be popular in Japan. They don't have to be popular in North America or Europe. They have to be popular in Japan. That is a stipulation that every single character has to make in order to make it into this game. But it all comes down to Sakurai and Nintendo. If they add DLC characters, that would be the biggest incentive to buy the game on the Nintendo Switch. Even though we already have an install base on the Wii U and we're all used to that. If they give us a control scheme that works, and if, the patch makes so many changes that the competitive scene can't ignore it, they might still, it's completely up to them if they want to ignore any balance changes that would be made on Switch, but maybe the Switch doesn't make any changes to any characters and just adds DLC. We don't know. There's a lot of factors that we need to consider in many aspects of this situation. We know that the game is coming. It is getting a port on the Switch. As far as new content goes, that is still all up to speculation and rumors. New characters would be the easiest go-to when it comes to new content and the biggest incentive to buy the game a second, or for some of us, third time if we also have it on the 3DS. But let me know what you guys think. What do you want to see on the Switch when it comes to Smash Brothers, on the Wii U specifically, when it comes to control schemes, balance patch updates or no balances, and of course, new DLC characters, whether it be first party or third party. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll have another video completely dedicated to the possibility of the Melee game on Switch, and I'll see you guys then.